All right. Good morning, everyone. Oh, gee, Postal Nerds is already making trouble in the comments. But good morning. I got Harrison, Trey Better 99, and Curtis PE turned RE here, man. What's going on,
Thanks for
everyone?
having
How's
us.
everyone going?
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Sorry, some last minute replacements. People got called into some meetings, so sorry for the last minute. So hopefully, this is actually kind of hopefully he's able to hop on later. But Ned got called into a meeting, but he sent me that chart that I sent. I sent it to you guys, right? The screenshot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of his topic, as far as savings rate and maybe how quickly it can get to financial freedom or early retirement. But I also got Ike here, who's a firefighter, and he's the one always asking about the introvert questions. So he's actually gonna do an interview with me on Monday though. And I just got a message. And for those of you in the One Rental at a Time community, the tickets are on sale for next year's event in the school classroom though only so far. So go check it out. But yeah, anyone, I'm gonna post this real quick if you guys wanna maybe dig into this chart or what you guys' thoughts are on it.
I guess I'll go first. Yeah, this was something that I looked at back in, I think, 2012 for Mr. Money Mustache back in the day. This was a very interesting situation of where how much are you willing to suffer to save and potentially rent early? And honestly, I thought it was a great idea on paper, but when you looked at it, it's okay, how much pain am I going to go through and potentially keep going through even after I retire? It was a very, I don't know. Curtis, you can, yeah, elaborate, but I thought this was a pretty scary way to look at things for retirement.
Yeah, so I saw the chart and I was like, okay, well, where did this chart actually come from? Because I've heard of Mr. Money Mustache, but I never really knew what the background was. So I actually looked up uh, the math behind it. Like, okay, how did he come to this conclusion? And it didn't look very good. Because the returns are only 5%, which I don't know about y'all, but 5% yield in my area is a bad deal. Uh, I mean, it might be good in like Hawaii or something, but not good here. And then you'll live off of a 4% withdrawal rate. To me, that sounds more stocks than the real estate, which is where we all pretty much invest.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to clarify. Ike Hobbs is getting. He said I only asked about introverted networking once, so maybe I exaggerated a little bit. But yeah, I just want to clear that up, I guess. Also, oh, Janitor on Fire, I put your YouTube channel on there, so he got to 100 subscribers quick, man. He's growing fast, but
Congratulations.
his channel is cool, so go check it out. Um, but yeah, I mean that chart is it definitely shows you though, right? How much, like you're saying, how much you're willing to sacrifice, how quickly you can get there. And I definitely like that's why Curtis, like I said, your one of your YouTube videos talking about house hacking and sacrifice, I think really relates to that savings rate. Also, there's different ways to sacrifice, right? So what's your thoughts on maybe other ways to make sacrifices, I guess, to maybe accelerate your financial freedom goals, I guess.
Yeah, because when you think about a savings rate, it's kind of like how much can you reduce, but also how much can you raise that income up as well. It's kind of a two-way go, and you can only cut out so much because you have to live, you have to eat, right? There's certain things you still have to do, so there's only so much that you can cut. So now it's okay. How do you maximize that? Now, if your salary you can't really do overtime, right? So it's like you have to find maybe a second job, maybe a side hustle, sell it, right? So you have to find other ways to generate income, but that often takes time. And while I'm young, time is what I can sacrifice, but at some point, I won't be able to do that, right? If I get married or have kids or what have it. So kind of time is what I can sacrifice at this moment.
Yeah, I'll definitely follow up with that because it was looking at this, you were saying it's like 5% yield and then 4% overall. So I mean, that's basically you're just putting everything in bonds, and the yields ebb and flow. So you'll get 4% usually max. So then what happens if it dips to 2%? And then sometimes a lot of states differentiate on what kind of income stock or yields equal. It's not always passive. So then all of a sudden you're taking that 30% hit of taxable income, and you're just, for me, it just gives me anxiety thinking about that. And I mean, I think it was, if I would have to save 1.6 million in 10 years if I just, like basically went nose to the ground for everything. And that's just ridiculous. Not even thinking about taxes.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the savings part of it is it's so hard to determine like you're saying what your withdrawal rate's going to be, what age you might be. So all these factors that you're trying to plan for down the road when that's why like I think our community really understands why cash flow is very important. More like this number that's coming in every month where this is going to fund your lifestyle in a sense, and not you're not trying to figure out like how much I have to have saved and what I can withdraw and how long it's supposed to last. So I think it's more how much sacrifice you're willing to put in than really how much I mean, definitely the savings rate is important, but I think it's more the sacrifices. And I think that's what I didn't really pay attention too much when I was a lot younger. A lot of times I was always in the, oh, let's live for the moment. I have a pension, I have all these things, and just enjoy now. And you look at it, it's like, man, if I just did a few things, I easily could be retired now. So like Curtis, remind us how young or how old you are, however you want to say it.
Yeah, I turned 26 next month.
Yeah, I mean and you're on your second house hack. I mean, that's like you're saying, that's you're doing things now so that you can later on do things that others can't, right? And I think that's amazing. And yes, I mean, like, do you guys have like a number or age that you guys are looking to maybe hit that financial freedom number, hopefully?
So yeah, I guess for me, my goal was, we calculate our expenses pretty exact, and so we're saying our retirement number would be 6,000 a month. And okay, so for us it was like, for our market, it's 400 bucks of cash flow a month per property. So if we get up to 15 properties, a lot of that pain goes away. It's just any sort of anxiety. And yeah. And also, yeah, going back with that number, it was putting $29,000 per down payment. We would just need less than a little over 400,000 for all that, versus saving up 1.6 million for a depreciating item. So it's like, which way am I going? So
yeah. And Mark, I saw what you put in the comments there, and I'm gonna need you to stop. Now, and Harrison, are you a believer of Dion's like multiplier?
Yeah, I just read about that. I was like, wow, that's, yeah. Now that I'm seeing that, I'm like, that makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm. So now that you kind of seen that, do you think 6,000 is still the number, or is that more your independence number, or what?
I would call that my independence number. It would be the issue of, well, if the market ever gets worse, I get laid off, or we retire. It's like, yeah, once you builds up, you don't even have to worry about that anymore. But that would just be like the cutoff of anything I don't have to worry about. So
nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And then is there a specific timeline of when you want to accomplish that by?
I mean, I like the 10-year plan. I thought that was, that's very attainable. I mean, I'm a decade older than you, Curtis. So it's like, I'd like to have some time for fun, but it's one of those that, I'm not, having that items to do. I like what I do for work. So it's not like I'm trying to get out of the race right away.
Yeah, I'm 2 decades older than you, man. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're killing it, man. I love, even though you definitely are following the Dion plan though, man. It's like play video games all night, go back, take a nap. I call him up and he's like, oh yeah, I just woke up from a nap. But oh, look, Late Start Wealth is here. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, he had to go buy
You
his
bought the
tickets
tickets.
first. So yeah, we mentioned it earlier. So those of you in the school community, the one rental at a time tickets are on sale in the school community right now. So go check it out. And oh, Janitor on Fire is bragging. He's up to 120 subs on his channel now. But that is fast, man. He is growing quickly. But go to the top. Also, everyone, I put Curtis's YouTube channel link in the beginning, Harrison's X channel or profile, and Kevin's channel's on there. I don't know where Kevin is. He probably got busy with a deal or something, so I'm not sure where he is, but hopefully he can pop in later. But yeah, I think the biggest thing I see, especially in my field, that the fire guys, we have pensions and everything, but it's always kind of, they're worried about running out of money, not running out of money because they have a pension, but running out of, as far as like, inflation eating into how much they have, and is it going to be able to sustain their lifestyle. We see that quite a bit. Oh, here he is. He heard me talking about him. um
Say his name
Welcome,
3
good
times.
morning, man.
Oh man, sorry, man. My meeting ran over. I
No,
apologize.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. We're just talking. I did send you that chart, right? The savings rate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Quickly tell us your thoughts then about it, real fast.
So the savings rate, I think it's a great plan. Um, See, savings been is so different, man. Like I'm a huge person of like talking to a financial advisor, at least having one of those people in your life to help you make a better plan. Because like there are so many different options out there. Like not just sticking with your 401k from your regular job. Going with if you do a self-directed IRA, that's an also good idea. I know everybody was talking for a long period of time. Was the what's the other plan? I can't think of it. I'm drawing blanks right now. What is the one that everybody was really talking about where you don't have to take out, you won't get hit with taxes.
Health savings account.
That one, health savings account. Also, doing your life insurance policy as retirement, right? Like getting a full life policy early on. If you're 20 or younger, like early. I put a whole life policy on my son when he's first born, right? Because that's how I can pay for his college at some point, or he can use this for his first investment for, buying a property or whatever. He has, my wife has a plan. And a little tidbit here: if you have kids, it depends on how much whole life you have on yourself, right? The laws are in place based on how much whole life you have on yourself. As much as you get for your kids. So if you have like 300,000 on yourself, you can buy your child a policy at $300,000 in whole life. And guess what? It's only the cheapest it's going to be is when you're a baby, right? The older you get, the more expensive the whole life policy is. So if you're young now, get one now, get that in place, use that. Because guess what? Like, New York Life, Northwestern Mutual, Mass Mutual, all these companies have like what they call, they get, what's the word? Dividends. They give dividends, right? So the higher dividend rates, at one point I remember New York Life's dividend rate was like up to 5%, highest at some point, and then like that year you're benefiting from that as a retirement plan. People are taking that. If you live to 65, take that money out, put into like a annuity, and that's your second income for retirement, right? So these are just different strategies I've kind of learned and picked up. But yeah.
Yeah, so talking about whole life, so Michael Zuber actually had some guests on his channel talking about whole life policy. And it's so funny, and I hear it everywhere. It's just really insurance gets a bad rap, and people don't understand that it's another tool. And yeah, it's not going to be for everyone, but there is a lot of benefits to it, and it's just another tool if you use properly. Can definitely help. You know, during retirement, or even your real estate portfolio, because you can borrow against it. But it's just another great tool that people misunderstand, I think, quite a bit. But hey, Hugo's here from Stay Winning. We're still trying to get him back on X. I don't know what happened. Michelle, good morning. Popping in from Curtis's channel. Looks like she's listening in.
Mhm.
We had a long night in the accountability group. She stayed pretty much all the way to the end. So glad to see you woke up this morning. And Esther and Robert are here, but Esther says, I am a late start in real estate. She suggests start as early as you can. And I think that's the great thing too, is being in these communities, just being around other people that have started later, right? And they're always telling, hey, just start as soon as you can, make the sacrifices now. And I think that's super important. And that's really the best thing that you can do. And like we keep talking about savings rate, and I keep going back to making sacrifices, right? So Kevin, I don't know. Did you meet Curtis? Have you met Curtis yet? I forget.
No, I don't think I have.
Okay, so he has a YouTube channel. I put all your guys' channels in a, but Curtis, you got to go check out his one YouTube video about sacrifice. He house hack his first house hack. He didn't have a bath or shower. He had a toilet, but he would shower at the gym. Shower at his mom's house, his girlfriend's house, and it's like a 200 square foot place. And now he's on his second house hack, so he's killing it out there.
I think you mentioned him before. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, same, man.
That's dope, bro. That's dope. I like that, man. House hacking. One of my good buddies. His nickname is his name is he go by Mogul Mo. You can find him on Instagram and also on Facebook. He started out his real estate journey house hacking. He was like not even 20 yet. He was working at the bank, got his first job, bought a house. Bought a duplex out in a good area of Pittsburgh called Westview, and he bought the house. Lived on one side that wasn't newly renovated, but renovated the other side, and then now he's got like multiple houses. He owns a construction company. Dude's like when he goes by this nickname Mogul Mo, he's really moving like a mogul. He's like under 30, man. It's crazy. In fact, I used to sell life insurance, so that's kind of how I know these little tidbits of life insurance, right? I sold my first life insurance policy to him, which was the highest like benefit I've ever sold. I don't want to put his information out there, but that's what it was. And he was like, I'm buying it because I see it as an investment piece for buying more property. And he was like 21 at the time. And like, again, whole life is only the cheapest as the younger you are. So like, it's just, I am a big component of it. My wife has a whole life policy. I have a policy that I can convert to whole life because I waited a little later in life. So health issues, things of that nature, weight gain, all these different things that happen that contribute to like making my whole life policy kind of hard to attain. I got a policy that I can convert to whole life over time, which I'm doing starting this year. But my son, when he was first born, 6 months out, homie got a whole life policy, right? Because I just am a huge component of that as using not just as a death benefit, but also as retirement or whatever else you want to use. In fact, there's a book I was reading. What's it called? What did the Rockefellers do? Yeah, see what do the Rockefellers do? And it kind of breaks down this concept of how they've used their money to build generational wealth to not only utilizing like retirement, not even like using like investment pieces for their children, but using the death benefit of the life insurance policy to like go back into this fund that can go on to like the next generation. It's a really good read. Check it out. That's a really bad summary of what the book's about, guys. I'm not by any means that I give you the best detail, but check it out. What would the Rockefellers do? And it's kind of dope because it breaks down this how they use this piece to like continue on, right? And it's kind of dope. They talk about the Vandergrifts and like how like how their money, huh?
No. Have you read Becoming Your Own Bank too? I got that one here.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. And talk about the Vanderbilts, how the Vanderbilts like how their money stopped, at some point where the Rockefellers, we still talk about them today, right? In fact, Jay-Z and Dame Dash called a record label called what? Rockefeller. Why? Because these guys were known for generational wealth.
Is that Leslie on the side? Did I hear her?
Yeah, she's on the side, man. She's just like helping me get my words together, man.
Morning, Leslie.
Good morning.
Yeah, I before you hopped on, Kevin, I was kind of talking about how like I noticed a lot of guys in the firehouse. The biggest thing is always even like retirement. You're always like, oh, why do you want to retire early? Like, what are you gonna do? And I think that's one of the obstacles a lot of people put in place too, right? They're like, oh, why do I want to retire early? They don't have anything they're looking forward to in a sense. So that's what's kind of doesn't want them to make those sacrifices. And I'm like, you can have a great 10-year fire career and be done, and you could have the best of both worlds, right? You do your fire career, enjoy it, and then branch off to something else. And I think that's one of the biggest obstacles I see also.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna be bored in retirement, you're boring. like,
Yeah.
like if you have all this time to do anything you want and you're bored, well, the issue's you.
I agree, bro. That's a great point, man. Like I've never seen like a good grandpa like bored at retirement. They've always doing something. They're fixing something. They're fishing. Like in fact, I have a cigar crew that I hang with every Wednesday. Two guys retired, and every day Sunday they smoke cigars. They have a good time. They have life. They enjoy life. They are happy they're off work. You know, my one dude JC, he's always talking about, "Hey man, every day Sunday, Kev." You know, like, like that's what I want, right? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I think it also allows you to just try new things without that kind of pressure of needing to succeed, I guess, in a sense, right? Like, because when you're working and then you only have limited time to take on new activities or new projects, you're always feeling stressed. Like you're trying to rush to get things done. Whereas, like, if you retire early, that's like, what I want to dabble in for the next month and see how good I can become at this, or take on this new project, and you don't have all this pressure and stress on you. I think that's a great thing to look at. But another thing I always hear about too is like healthcare. Is that something that you guys are concerned with about if you folks do, retire early? Like how are you going to handle like these healthcare type of thing, healthcare costs, I guess?
So absolutely, man. And there's also like even like nursing home plans, right? Like Northwest Mutual has a product where you can start investing into it now, where it will give like a stipend for um, like nursing home expenses, right, or senior care living expenses, right? So like these different things are out there for protection. You know, like yeah, healthcare is a big issue, man. I'm kind of like my it's scary, man. You see them numbers, you be like, yo, what? I used to work for ADP and I used to sell health insurances to small businesses, right?
Mhm.
Like the plans for health insurances. And I actually seen the numbers from like I work from the 2 to 10 market for employees. And it's astronomical, man. And then like it's just like even as we grow our businesses, right, as real estate investors, and we start expanding and we get like a bigger company, these are numbers you got to think about. Like the cost of health insurance is steadily going up. It's not going to go down. It is what it is. These health insurance companies, they know that we have to have it, so they know we're going to pay for it, right? So yeah, I'm concerned about it, man. So, but one of my best friends in real estate, he says this. I remember we were talking about. Gonna start off the topic a little bit, but we're talking about how much it costs to put your kid in private school. And he said, I think what was it, 400,000 maybe for one kid, 480,000 for 2 kids to put your kid in private school in this city of Pittsburgh, right? And he was like, I said, yo, man, he got 2 kids. We're about to have 2 kids. I'm like, yo, man, how are we gonna pay for this? He said, you know what, Kat, that's a great question, man. When I think of that, all I can think of is how can I make 480,000 extra a year? I'm like, wow, wow. Your thought is how can I make 480,000 extra more a year? What can I do? What can I add in my business right now? What stream of income can I add to my lifestyle to not only pay for 20 years, but for 1 year is paid forever. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So even one of my coworkers, he could retire now. Like he's reached his full responsibilities for his pension and everything, and his kid is in private school, and they're debating on like if they should continue sending the youngest child to school. It's like 30,000 a year for private school, and we're kind of just like, man, just you can retire now, collect your pension, and homeschool him, and you're gonna save like basically 30, on top of your pension coming in. So it's a $30,000 savings a year. But yeah, I don't know. He hasn't pulled the trigger yet.
I got a question though, man. Like think about this. When you think about homeschool, think about the social aspect too, right? Social skills, development wise. That's one of the main reasons. Like, some people are against the thought of homeschool versus, going to school with peers.
So, Kevin, I'm sure that we haven't met, but I'm a teacher, and so I often hear this the homeschool thing, and I I think the social aspect is very important. Like I teach PE and like health, so I harp on that a lot. But now that more people are homeschooling, there's more social things. Like if you look on like Facebook, there's tons of homeschool Facebook groups, and there's folks that do prom for homeschool
Really?
school kids, yeah. Or like even if you're homeschooled, you can still go to your school you're supposed to go to and do sports and clubs there. So you're really just not there for the school part, you know?
Got you. Got you.
Yeah.
All right. Never mind then.
No, but I definitely see that as like that. Like you're saying, you got to find that balance, right? So, I think that's the tricky part. But like you're talking about, like if you can save, $30,000 a year for 15 years, or put that money into, like you're saying, purchase a home or something, right? And by the time they graduate or finish high school, right now they can, if they're going to go to college, they have this asset that can basically pay for it. But Ike Hobbs, who also is a firefighter, who I'm going to be interviewing next week, he says, I'm sure you've seen it where guys retire and then die. Purpose when retired matters. Yeah, I think that, and I mentioned that's super important. There was a guy that retired from the firehouse, and he went into depression. He really lost his identity. He missed having coffee. He had like a routine, right? You come to work, you get your coffee, you read the paper, you sit down, you shoot the shit with the rest of the guys. He had this routine, he had this identity, and then he retired, and he basically he got into depression. He struggled with it, but he was also an avid swimmer, so he started coaching swimming at the high school in the neighborhood. So that's kind of what took his time and everything. But he had to find something, right? And I think a lot of times we don't plan well enough and have, like we're talking about, like having something to retire to, and then late start wealth. He kind of gives us his plan, hopefully for his retirement. He says he wants to build a hobby farm with a greenhouse, post and beam barn, dig a pond, plant an urban orchard, get a sawmill again, build a wood workshop, get my building contractor license, and build for hackers. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
My challenge though, another thing you gotta think about too, man, is like that whole philosophy of like you work then die after you retire. Look at the guys in the steel mill. I'm in Pittsburgh, right? This was at one point a big steel mill culture, right? We haven't had steel mill in 70 years, by the way. But not 70 years. We haven't had a steel mill since the 70s, honestly. But the growing thought is like these guys go in these jobs where you're getting all this, you're in steel mills, these hazardous environments, right? Where you're exposed to all these chemicals and all these different smells and stuff like that. That's another contributing factor, man. You're dying at 59 because you've like the environment you worked in for the last 50 years, 40 years of your life, right? Like that's a contributing factor. It's not just because of like, I don't have anything to do. It's just because like I have exposed myself to something that is detrimental to my health in the long term, right? So I'm thinking like this, man. I want to get out as quickly as I can. My goal is I'm 35 right now. By the time I'm 40, I want to be in a position where I retired. I'm done. I'm just doing my real estate. I'm not working for anybody else but myself. So that way I can live and enjoy my 40s, my 50s, my 60s, my 70s, 80s, and 90s, just kicking it with the wife and my grandkids and my kids, right? So I'm just trying. That's my thought, man. Help me figure out how to make that happen.
It's great to think about it.
And that's nice. See, I don't think I'm gonna live
No,
in that
totally
long.
agree.
So
Yeah, I mean, I think,
I don't
I
think
always
I'm gonna
talk
live
about it.
that
Maybe I
long.
feel selfish a little bit. I talk about how part of it is I want to be a young grandfather if that opportunity comes up, right? I mean, the better off I can put things in place for my son to succeed. I think a lot of times that's why maybe people are having, children later in life too now, right? They're trying to get that financial stability and whatnot. Whereas if I can provide more for my child, hopefully, maybe if it works out, he has a child at a younger age, and I can be a young grandfather and have, you know, the ability to be more active, like you're saying, and, you know, play around, run around more. Because yeah, once you get in your 60s and 70s, man, the body don't work the same.
Yo, Curtis, what do you want to say, bro? You was going to say something.
Yeah, it's like I don't think I'm gonna live that long, like to my 80s or like in my 90s. So I'm trying to retire it so I have good years left.
Come on, you're a PE teacher. Somebody you go to the 80s, man. All you gotta do is work right, work out, drink your water, and eat healthy.
And he's gonna go to all the Chicago Bears games because he is.
No, that would take years off my life right there.
That's a lot of stress, man. That's a
Hey,
lot of
whoa!
I mean, it's been stressful, man. Y'all ain't had no bikes in the refrigerator in the 80s.
Okay, Esther says, I loved my job. When prepared for fire, work will be an option, or happy at work. Different attitude and have to work to pay bills. Yeah, I get. Yeah, it you know, definitely changes, right? When work becomes optional, right? I think it just becomes, you know, when you can just basically walk away at any time if you feel like it, right? Now it becomes a lot more enjoyable, I believe. Or you can, like I think Kevin, that was your guys' term, right?
Occupational freedom.
Occupational freedom. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think even not being at a fire yet, just having the 2 properties under my belt, I walk into work a little differently. It's like, all right, if for some reason these parents get me fired or something crazy, my retirement is my housing.
That's a good point, man. I like that, man. That's true, man. Because especially because you house hack, like you're not doing the traditional, not the traditional, but the new term, the Burr method. You're doing a little differently, right? So I'm not sure you're doing the Burr method by the way, but you're just house hacking. You're doing it at a lower cost, and you're trying to find a lower entry point to like make sure that you can benefit from it quicker, right? A lot of times when you do the Burr method, you may not benefit from that method as much. I might not benefit it. You might. Sorry, what better way to say this? I may not benefited from it as fast as you will, right? By the way, where I know for me, it's going to benefit my son more. It's going to benefit me. Just let's be logistics here, right?
Mhm.
You know, I do the Burr method. I purchase the property, hard money property, how I buy it, then I rehab it, fix it, refinance it with a 30-year mortgage or 25-year mortgage, right? I'm 35, bro. So you do the math. That means I'm 65. My son at that point will be what, 32? So he's gonna benefit from better than I will, right? You know, like logistically, right? You know, like, you know, he's going to. So like I look at this as real estate for me is more of a generational wealth standpoint. Like I'm gonna benefit from it, right? But nowhere near as much as my son's gonna benefit from it, man. He's gonna be able to say, my dad, my mom gave me 30 grand, 30 houses with no mortgages. All I pay is taxes. And now think about that. You do the math, man. Now that means his what's the word? Maybe cash. The word we get at the door. I can't think of the word. Cash flow. That's it, baby. Thank you. Cash flow is dope, man. So that means when at this point, I guess 30 years from now, rent might be $4,000 a month for one bedroom house. You know, so like, you know, you gonna get $4,000 a month. You do the math. 30 houses, $4,000 a month. My son, he looking good.
Yeah, I think you make a great point too. So I think a lot of people, you know, when they start thinking about retirement, it's like they're worried about expenses, costs, and it's like, oh, I have to work more to figure out how to pay for these things. Whereas most of us here or in the community, everyone is building skills to where, like I think Curtis, you mentioned, if something was to go wrong or whatnot, you kind of have this plan on how to get back on your feet or how to correct things, right? So you're building these skills to where even if maybe you retire a little before you actually hit that number you need to hit or want to hit, you have skills that are going to be able to help you maybe increase your cash flow or increase your income, right? Because you have these skills that you're building up. So I think that's what's super important is we're all working at how, like, you know, like Kevin, you guys are able to raise capital or private money, right? So you're building these skills and connections to where, you know, if you do retire, like you're saying, you quit your job, you know, you have these skills in place that is going to help you continue to grow your portfolio. Robert, who keep the change, says, 4 years into fire journey, it can be a grind. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I can't accept giving 80% of my time and attention and energy to a job and left over 20% to family. Yeah. Very
Yeah,
true.
that's a big worry issue with my family is that, I mean, I have no problems grinding, no problems throwing stuff in, but think of all that lost opportunity time with your family that you have there. And so it's my issue has always been finding that balance of, well, let's do cheap stuff together. Let's do other items that, that we can just benefit. I mean, I love going on easy trips, camping or just walks or day trips versus going to Disney, which is something I'll never do again. But it's one of those that, yeah, I mean, it's how much is saving hurting you? That's what I look at.
How old are your kids, man?
I have one on the way. So.
Oh, I didn't know we were saying that yet.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I just So yeah,
So-
we're just talking about it.
As a dad, right, of one, two actually. My daughter passed away. My son he's kicking these two. Your perspective change, and Mark has a son too, so like your perspective changes, man. Like you said right now, I'll never do Disney again, right? You just said that, right? You got a baby on the way, right? You're saying that right. I'll never do it again. When that baby looks at you and is watching Bluey and is looking at watching Princess something, and you're like, Daddy, I want to go to Walt Disney World, you're going to do it. Just straight up. I'm going to tell you right now. Just throw it out your window, man. Just accept the fact that you're going to do whatever it makes that child happy, you're going to do. Because it's nothing greater, man, to be able to pick your kid up and it runs to you and says, Daddy. Just being transparent, man. Like 2 years old, my son, he comes down the stairs. I'm making his breakfast or making his lunch. The first thing he does when he comes down with Mommy, he looks for Daddy. So I'm just saying.
You're never gonna eat more mac and cheese, Dino Nuggets, pizza in your life,
right
probably.
now.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe for the first 9 months of pregnancy, all as well too, because a lot of ice cream dates for us. But I resonate with Keep the Change says, man, because like my battle right now is like I have a job that I have where I work remotely. Some things are changing where I have to find another job. Me and my wife were literally just talking about this before I had that meeting about like making that where I have a remote job where I can still have this autonomy that I have where I can help my other businesses grow still on the side and also have time to spend with my son, man. It's nothing greater in the morning after I got my work done. My little man comes down and he wants to sit by Daddy and watch Bluey. He'll literally get me off my desk and be like, Daddy, come on. And then take me to the couch. I sit next to him and I'm spending that time with him because, man, they are only this age for so long, right? I make a joke all the time. When's the last time you ever went to your father or your parents and kind of lay on your chest?
Been a while. Wow.
Exactly. So every moment you get with that child at this age, enjoy it because that moment is so fleeting, man.
So Kobe, he's an EXP agent. He says, is the new definition of retirement having the option to work instead of having to work to pay your expenses?
I mean, I would think so because why do people work? Well, to eat or to live. So when that's taken care of, then you have kind of that option. A lot of time we tie retirement to age, which is because that's when the government will help you out more. But that doesn't need to be the case.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
We got to change our mindset on retirement, man. Completely. Completely. Like you just said, retirement age. Well, that's when the government tells you can retire. No, that's not the standpoint. There's people right now who's 65 and older at the retirement age and still can't afford to live. We got to change our mindset when it comes to retirement. We got to put things in place to ensure that retirement is comfortable for us, whatever age that be. If it's 40, if it's 25, if it's 30, whatever it is. If you become a tech guy and you became a genius, you decided to invest in Bitcoin 15 years ago and you're a multimillionaire, make sure you got the things in place to like ensure the lifestyle that you want to obtain and have.
And Harrison, and you had talked about earlier when we were still talking about the chart thing
Yeah.
on how you'd have to invest like $1.6 million. And when you were saying that, I was like, it would take me so long to get to 1.6, but I'm already most of the way there just with 2 purchases with
How about that?
with the value of the houses, So when you think of it like that, it's like, oh wow, okay, I see an easier path here.
Oh yeah, it's like having the properties that you just look at it. It's like, wow, this actually isn't that bad versus having to have after tax cash plus your non-taxable cash. It's just you kind of stutter thinking like, oh my goodness, am I, not going to pay for food, or am I not going to eat certain? Yeah, it's just it creates a lot of weird conversations in your head if you think about having to think about the cash versus the properties.
Yeah, so for anyone watching on YouTube, I put the chart back up about the savings rate. So this is kind of what our main topic was focusing on. It is like savings and sacrifice and how fast you can actually get to financial freedom or retirement. So it definitely shows you, right? Like, I mean, the more you're willing to sacrifice or save, and I think that like we keep talking about too, like balance, right? It's finding that balance of living below your means, but also you still do want to enjoy. And I think that is definitely the biggest struggle. I'm not sure if you guys follow him on X. I forgot what his name was. He was the samurai wealth, or I gotta look it up again. But he's one of those guys that retired early. He reached fire. He retired early, but he actually went back to work, and now he just posted again that he's quitting again because it's just like
Oh,
work is
man.
just not like it's just completely different now, and he's gonna be leaving again. But everyone at first was like, "Oh, see, you tried to retire early and you didn't have enough money and you got to go back to work." But he went back for different reasons, I believe. I forgot exactly what it was. I got to go read the article again. But yeah, he's saying he's quitting again because it's just not for him anymore. But yeah, Late Start Wealth says Disney, just go camping at Fort Wilderness and you get to use all the hotel pools and transportation. Everything is Disney themed, over the top. Works best when kids are little. Huh.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Cool. That's good to
Thank you
know.
for that tidbit. Now I know how to save money and not go to Disney.
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, you missed the first comment. I gotta go back, so I put Hulk on this one, right, on the thumbnail, and
Uh-huh.
my one for tomorrow is Batman, and Janner on Fire is a huge Batman fan, and I think his comment was like Batman would destroy the Hulk or something. I forgot what he put in there, but I know Kevin's kind of a superhero comic
So
buff
with plot
also.
armor, Batman can do all things. Just transparent, man. Batman with plot armor can do all things. Batman can be anybody with plot armor. But if you put Batman in a real situation, like no plot armor, he is absolutely positively. I love Batman. I'm a huge Batman fan. I'm a fanatic, right? He's getting crushed by the Hulk, just straight up. Depends who's writing the story. He's going to get killed. But plot armor, Batman can do anything, right? I've seen Batman in one comic fall from space. literally
Wow.
fall from space just with his basic suit, no super suit, basic suit, fall from space and landed. Plot armor. I'm done with that.
So let's see. I believe it's Barb Miller. She's stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button for everyone's channel. She says, "What is the retirement goal in the chart? Is it a certain dollar amount?"
No, I
No.
believe it's just to not have to work. Like as we were talking earlier, the chart makes some assumptions. Like it assumes a 5% investment return and a 4% withdrawal rate. So there's no exact numbers there. Those numbers could be pretty slim, and I think all of us at the time kind of agreed that that's not really what we all want, because that's not really going to fund the lifestyle that we all want.
I think
Right.
Harrison, you said you saw that first, Mr. Mustache. You said that chart, yeah.
Yeah, so it was his thing, and basically the idea was looking at your monthly expenses and how much would it you need to save to get that 4% yield to pay for your monthly expenses. That's where the numbers are.
Yeah, and of course, like we said, it still comes down to the area that you live and things like that. But
Mhm.
it's just the kind of idea of people are trying to save a certain dollar amount and plan out, a 4% withdrawal and how much money it's going to last them for 30 years and whatnot. So it really is kind of more focused on your savings rate of how much you need to focus on saving to hit this certain number where you can retire early. And we're just kind of breaking down like savings rate and sacrifice and what needs to be done, I guess, to help you try to reach that financial independence a lot quicker. And Curtis's house hacking and doing all these amazing things. But oh yeah, Esther and Robert mentioned a financial samurai. That's his handle on X. So go check it out. I know he was more like stocks and bonds and things like that, where he reached his financial independence number. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you guys got other stuff you want to talk about, chit chat about? You want to still talk about sacrifice, savings, or anything else in the news you guys want to hit on?
I guess for Kevin, so which Batman is your favorite?
Ooh.
Live action?
Live action, animated, whatever. Your
That's a
choice.
broad spectrum, bro.
I
That's
know.
hard.
Yeah.
Live action. I'll go live action because this is the easiest one that everybody would know. It's definitely Michael Keaton because I'm mind you, I was born in 1989 when the first Batman came out, and I've been watching that movie since I was like 3 and 4, right? So Michael Keaton, hands down, my favorite all-time Batman. Of course, Kevin Conroy is going to be my favorite voice actor for Batman. Again, Batman animated series BAS, man, can't go wrong with that, man. But Michael Keaton, man, I like Christian Bale, but I wasn't the biggest Christian Bale. Now the best physically fit and fighting Batman I've ever seen, straight up Ben Affleck. Like if you watch just the one scene in Batman v Superman, all you need to watch the warehouse scene, you'll see like what Batman is really capable of in any situation in the comic books. It was the closest I've ever seen it. But yeah,
That was a great breakdown.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow.
dude, I'm a comic book nerd, man. I like me and my best friend. We talk about this stuff all the time, man. He's a Marvel guy. I'm a DC guy. He knows more Marvel than I do. So if he asks me anything Marvel, I can loosely talk about it, but my knowledge is limited.
Nice. I have the animated series right behind me, right there. So that's why. So
Yo, in my man cave, bro, you gotta see me man cave. I got like I usually do these in my man cave, but I'm in my living room right now.
mhm. Yeah.
The wall of family is behind me.
Cool. So Curtis, how's your video game, your new football game going?
Oh man, dude, I've been like binging it. My account got hacked, and so I was kind of sad about that. So I went and I made a new profile and bought the game again.
Is he the way?
Huh?
Is he the way?
Yeah.
Yo, get my
Yeah.
game tag, bro. Let's get on. Let's connect, man. I'm on it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Is he the way?
Oh, you got streams.
So it's the same PE turned RE. So if anyone wants to add me, I play that.
What system?
I got PlayStation 5, but you can cross play now. So
Yeah, I got PS5 too, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
oh, look at that. See, we're building connections here.
So PE turn what?
turned RE.
PE. Okay. I'm gonna find you.
Ike Hobbs says, do y'all ever consider having a part-time job at retirement to make that date sooner? My goal is to get to that point at 35 where I can choose if I want to work or not.
I challenge you, Ike, to think of like what other outside doing a part-time job, what can you do to add to your own portfolio to where that is your part-time job, right? Where it's taking that pay, from what you would get from a regular 9 to 5 or whatever that is from company to replace that, right? What investment strategy can you do? What stream of income can you create? Is that buying a laundromat, where you're going in, you're checking the money out, you're cleaning the laundromat. That's your part-time job. Now you own your own part-time job.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting one. I do private football coaching on the side, and I'm always debating on if I kind of put it on hold and then I focus on like the real estate more, because it doesn't take that much time, but it does take up some time, right? But it's kind of nice because it's kind of a guaranteed fund. I know about and how much I'll get per week from that, and I think that's something that I would still do once I retire or don't have to work anymore, is because I make my own schedule, and there's really no overhead except the yearly background check and then the stuff that I have to buy for it. But once the stuff is already bought, well, there's really no like an overhead.
But Curtis, is that more like a passion of yours to continue to do that? So like that's, I'm looking, when I read this, I'm thinking like he's looking for a part-time job, like he's working at Chipotle part-time. Is that what he's talking about? You feel me? So like that's a passion. You have the skill set to be like, I can go coach a team. I don't have that skill set to be I can coach a team. Mm-hmm. So I have to think of different strategies to where like, okay, Kev, do you want to go back and work at Chipotle again, or do you want to be like, let me buy this here and I can make this my part-time gig where I can run it like myself, where I don't have to answer to no one. And then like the overhead may not be the exact pay at all times. It could be even more. Like I said, laundromat, man. Give me a laundromat. I can go in there and clean it. No one needs to know I own it. My name is Keith. I go in there and clean, collect the money, and pull out.
It's Batman. My name is Batman.
Hey man, I'm telling you, I'm not lying. Every time I talk to any tenant, no one knows my real name. I don't want you to know I own it. My name is Keith, Calvin, whatever I decide that day.
You're like Martise MJ, who comes on my channel. I can't even find him on social media because he has all different names on every different platform. Like I can't even tag him on anything. But I back to your question. I think, for me, and that's kind of where this property management thing I'm hoping is going. Starting the YouTube channel, the social media things. Hopefully, that's all kind of running on its own in a sense to when I hit that financial freedom number or when I do retire early. So hopefully, and then by that time, hopefully everything is running and I won't accommodate you folks anymore on my times for interviews. It'll be you guys. If you can't make it, sorry, you're out. And then I'll be kind of more known to where everyone's going to want to just be jumping in and accommodating me. But for now, I try to accommodate everyone else. But it's fun. I love doing this. So I love connecting anyone and talking about connecting. Kobe says, you guys should do an NCAA tournament and stream it on live.
All right, let's try that. I'm down. Kobe, you want to play too? We can all do it. I think the tournament thing is you could actually do like now you can do seasons now too, which is cool.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But you gotta be on the same platform. They have the same system. But yeah, we should definitely think about it. Kobe, you want to get in, man? Message us, let us know.
And then we got late start. Well, he said, you guys are comical. Hey, we just have fun here, man. So anytime, whatever, we'll talk about anything. So, but
can I say something about the Ike's question? Because Ike was like, he said to get there faster to do a part-time job. So like, Ike, man, like what part-time job are you talking about, really? Like, are you thinking of just working at Chipotle, working on a job? Or are you thinking about adding another like part of your business, right, to what you already doing to make that a part-time job where you can get there faster? Like me and my wife, she has her own recruiting company she runs. We also have our real estate company, and we also have a mortgage brokerage company we have now that we do. That's more like a part-time thing that we're doing, trying to get more money, more income in, adding to our business. So think about what makes sense for your lifestyle, your family to get there, or own it yourself. Because if you can own it yourself and get there faster, I think that's the best solution, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing though, and Ike, you may see it a lot in your firehouse, your fire station. I don't know. People just seem very close-minded to taking on even like social media and the opportunities that the internet and online opportunities are presenting nowadays, right? I think everyone at the firehouse, oh, why do you want to do that? You can work overtime and all these things, which is great. I mean, if you have the opportunity to work overtime, take advantage of it. But at the same time, I would try to build something now early in your career, so that like you're saying, it might accelerate you to hitting your goals. But at the same time, once you hit your goals, then you kind of have something in place to just keep rolling with that you might enjoy, right? So that's the way I would look at it.
I mean, get your real estate license, sell some property on the side, of course you got to switch more so to working to the seller side, instead of being the buyer side. Now, maybe a seller agent, man, if he works at the fire station, you said, right?
Yeah.
I mean, make a connection there, man. You might be like, people like working with firefighters, like, hey, I'm a firefighter part-time, might be your niche, man, to get more clientele, or just do whatever you can to make you the commodity where you make money.
Yep.
I mean, you could do license-free stuff like HVAC techs. You can learn a lot from there. It's a really good job. I mean, that's actually something I'm looking at on the side, because I'm saying, wow, I can save a lot of money if I do this myself. And then if I learn this, it's like, well, heck, why not change, help out? And because there's a demand like crazy right now, especially in the South. I mean, it's heaters and AC units are breaking like crazy.
I know.
So it's like, oh yeah, we can probably help. Yeah.
But Trey, man, I'm gonna say this, bro. You about to have a baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Yep.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah. I'll give you realistic expectations. No one's gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Look at me. The first 4 weeks, that baby does not know night or day. Remember that, okay?
Yes.
No one told us this. I didn't know it. We woke up, we're like, baby Trip came out, my son Trip came out. We're like, he sleeps so good. He's like a good baby. Man, the second day, my man was up with the crack of dawn, my eyes bloodshot. I can show y'all a picture later of he just like bloodshot. He's on my chest. I'm begging God for help. Like, it's real. It's real. So for the first 4 weeks, that baby does not sleep. So manage your expectations. If you can do this now, do it now. But after 9 months, just let you know, man.
That's why I always try to relate real estate to having a child. You can read all these books, right, for parenting and preparing you for this child to come along. But once that baby is born, it's like everything. The books are all out the window. It's all survival, and you're just trying to figure it out as you go.
It's straight survival.
Hold on, because I can sell my houses. I don't think you can sell no baby off.
Yes, you can, but not.
Let's not get canceled here, man. Come on, let's
I would recommend it. You want to go to prison? Don't do it. But
so Mark Ham says that's awesome to know trade better. And late start Welt says weeks, months. How long are we looking at right now?
Got about 6 months, so we're.
Oh yeah, man, you're the thick of it.
So, I know. So it's like, we're going through it. But hey, like Mark said, ice cream dates and other items like that, pizzas. It's like, okay.
You got her the pregnancy pillow yet?
I'm about to get one. It's she was like, no, I don't want it. Now it's like, okay, I want it. So
no, you should have got pregnancy pillow. Get it on Amazon. Super cheap, super dope. My wife still sleeps with it.
Nice.
To this point, I still can't cuddle because of the pregnancy pillow for some odd reason, but it's there. Make sure, look at every. My wife calls me the pregnancy police, man. So like when you buy anything for like, make sure to get her some good ginger tea, but make sure it's straight ginger. Yep. And start buying diapers now if you can, or have a diaper plan.
Oh, you don't do cloth diapers.
Oh. You doing cloth diapers? No,
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're a rebel, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Power to the people, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Do that, man.
I heard about that. I was like, nope, I'm out. No, I got a Costco membership, so whenever there's a sale, I'm getting like
perfect.
One or two.
Another thing, here's a challenge to you, man. Is your wife or a spouse or your significant other? Are they going to? Are you breastfeeding in your home, or are you doing formula?
Whatever we need to. We're not picky. So,
okay. Yeah. So if you're going to breastfeed, I challenge every man to do this. My best friends told me to do this. as a man, change, or the person who's helping, right? Or the man, woman, whoever you are, change every diaper. If you're not the one breastfeeding, you should change every diaper. My son, I changed every single one of his diapers. I'm actually
Nice.
faster than my wife when it comes to changing diapers because I want to make sure because he gets up at because the baby feeds almost when they're first born, every 2 hours.
Yeah.
Every 2 hours. So I mean, she's getting up at the crack of dawn every 2 hours. I'm with her. And guess what, guys, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, they and them, you get less resentment because you're right there with them.
There you go. Yeah.
Dr. Leslie, you can chime in if he's lying about anything now.
No.
He is telling the truth about the diaper.
See,
There you go. I like that.
it may have saved my marriage, guys. I'm still married. You want to save your marriage? Change diapers, men, women, boys, girls, they and them. Do it all.
Do it.
Kobe says, have you guys seen the Viking Boys? There is a guy who plays Madden and Call of Duty while making cold calls to off-market properties for his real estate business and streams that on their channel.
Kobe, that's amazing. I have not heard these people. I need to find this guy and follow him in his footsteps right now.
Yeah.
That is a great.
Oh,
Great.
okay. So we have a question for Curtis, and I don't know. This is a new follower. Hopefully you subscribe. But Mackie Samuels, thanks for stopping by. PE turned RE. Does PE stand for professional engineer? RE stands for real estate.
No, if I was an engineer, I'd probably be almost retired by now. But no, PE stands for physical education. I teach PE in health, 6th through 8th grade.
That's dope, man.
And if you new here, I'll put his YouTube channel in the comments. So Mackie, go check it out. Go subscribe. But subscribe to mine first, please, and then go to Curtis's and subscribe. But Jen says, agreed. Get up with the wife. Yes. So Kevin, I don't know if you remember Jen. She was on the live with one of the couple. Jen is a rock star, and she thought she did horrible, and I thought she did great on the live.
Great.
Got to get her back on. But yeah.
And Harrison, I'm curious. So we had talked about your independence number earlier. Is that accounting with the baby on the way? Because I hear those things are kind of expensive.
A little bit expensive. Yeah. So that was the plan. Like, yeah, no, that's what we padded it a bit just because that was the idea is like, all right, we pretty much live on the cheap. I mean, just naturally, but it's one of those where, yeah, we hear babies are expensive. So it's like, let's kind of add a little bit more right now before I know. And then thinking about schools, private schools, all that stuff. I'm like, oh man, this is.
Do you have a savings account for your baby already?
Yeah.
Perfect. I got one too. Trip has his own.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get life insurance for them?
So I don't know. So I guess after hearing you, I'm like, yeah, I might. It's good.
I think you. I'm not trying to force my beliefs on anybody. I'm telling you right now, it's smart to get a whole life policy. If you have a whole life policy on yourself, why not have for your kid? That's my question.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a whole life policy on myself, why would I not have one on my child when I know it's going to be the cheapest right now, and it can be an investment tool, right? And it can be a gift to them, you know. And then guess what? Like when Trip's 20 years old, his whole life policy is paid for the rest of his life. He for the rest of his life, his entire life, 20 years. I paid his policy for 20 years. It's done. And all he has to do is he wants to keep the benefit of like borrowing against it. He just got to keep putting money into it.
There you go.
I mean, I can't.
See, I didn't know you would do that. That's awesome. Like,
Yeah,
I
man.
never realized you borrow against it.
We go New York Life. You can borrow against, you can borrow from it, put it back, whatever you want to do. It's an investment strategy, man. That's what a lot of people do that they don't talk about, right? No one tells you this in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know until I started selling life insurance back in like 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's great for people that retire early or they don't have a W-2 because now it's going to be like the easiest loan or to borrow off of without needing like a credit score or tax returns, and you can basically borrow against yourself and pay yourself back. And so
actually, there's a tool New York Life had back when I used to work there that they could show you. If you get a whole life policy for $100,000, it would show you with the current dividend rate how much it would be when you retire at 65. and I've seen the number be like $1 million, right? You can borrow up to that $1 million or 900,000 of that money, right? Keep the $100,000 in the benefit for your family if you pass away whenever. Take that money out, put it into an annuity. Now, that's your additional retirement.
Dang.
Ain't that dope?
That's dope. Yeah.
Ain't that dope? Like that's crazy, right?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, just another tool, a
Yeah,
misunderstood tool. It just gets a bad rap and whatnot. But I don't know if I'm saying it right. Casey, thanks for stopping by. I haven't seen you here before, but thanks for commenting and joining us today. But anyone out there too, we mentioned earlier, if you are in the one rental at a time community, the tickets are on sale in the school community. Zuber has released the tickets, so go check it out if you're gonna attend the event in Vegas next year. But yeah, this was fun, man. Whatever, if anything you guys want to talk about, discuss some more.
For the tickets, I know there was like tiers. Did you feel like just the basic tier was worth it, or are you gonna upgrade in this year?
I always go VIP, man. No, no, no. Same thing. It's how much you're gonna take advantage of it, right? So I mean, I'm not sure if it's gonna be the same format as last year, but definitely, the VIP dinner, you did have a lot more individual time if you wanted with a lot of speakers. But even without doing the VIP, a lot of people still had a lot of opportunity to speak to all the guests and all the speakers. So it's really, I mean, it's really up to you, I guess. I mean, you'll get it's same thing, right? How much effort you put in and how active you are, you'll get the most benefit from it. This is for you, probably, Kevin. I'm not sure if you still have but it says, can you start the whole life concept in the mid 50s?
Be very transparent. You can, but the cost is crazy how much it costs. Because again, the older you get, the more it costs for whole life policies. So it depends on your budget, how much you have, and how aggressively you want to put into it. Because they capped it a couple years ago of how much you could put into it to make it more of a benefit for retirement, right? Because there's only so much you can put into it a month to benefit from that dividend. So I would implore you to reach out to your local, insurance broker. I like New York Life. I have New York Life policy. But Northwestern Mutual is just as great. They all do the same thing. Mass Mutual is great too. Talk to them, see what the plans they'll do. Give you a free quote for how much it will cost for you with the whole life policy, and go from there. That's what I say.
So, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but Kaisi says, thank you, Mark. I invest whole life 20 years ago, just borrow against $50K for paying property tax at 0.75%. No regret at all.
See?
There you go.
See, Casey, I'm talking about that, man. This is crazy. Like my son, I wish my dad would have did it for me. Man, my dad's 50. My dad's 67. I was born 89. No one was talking about this. We didn't have this great thing called YouTube or internet to tell young parents, put a whole life policy in your child so they can benefit from their older. No one was talking about it. But now that we know it, we got to utilize it.
Yeah, no term policies, Mark. No, I mean, at least it's something. But yeah, I would definitely look into whole life policy. But
I mean, I think is it David Ramsey? He talks about getting a term life policy versus getting a whole life. It really depends on your thought behind it, or what method of strategy you're using. Do I think a term policy is great? I have a term that can be converted to whole life, right? So there's different things you can do. Depends on your budget, what you can afford. I just still say have a whole life. Like for instance, you can have both. Have a whole life for investment strategies if you want to use it, and have an additional term just to have down for anything extra. Every person should have at least. Think about this right now. I hate to be morbid here, but we're all going to die at some point, right? No one's going to live forever unless you're a vampire. But arguably that might be for real. We don't know. Anyway, we don't know who's. So the thought is this: if I were to leave this earth tomorrow, I have a 2-year-old son and I have a wife who's going to probably live till she's 100 years old. I want to make sure that I have enough to cover all my expenses and my income that will take care of my wife when I'm gone for the next 30, 40 years, right? Until she's retired. So look at whole life at that as well. Look at term as that as well, because at the end of the day, everybody says, well, I got a life insurance in my job. That's true. But when you leave your job, that you've been there for 40 years, guess where goes guess where your whole life or your term policy goes to. Bye-bye. Have one outside your job.
Yeah, I think this might be for you, Kevin, actually. Jen says, are you doing some educational savings plan for your son?
You know what? I need to start. I'm not gonna be very, everything you're saying, Jen. I got to start doing that. I got to start. I started the life insurance policy. I did the savings account for him. Chip has a lot of times more money than I have in his account. Being really transparent. That's what I got to do. And yeah, we have to start. Me and my wife are actually planning estate planning as well. Living trust and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that our son is benefiting from everything we're doing.
Although I'm curious though, if he has a savings account and the whole life account, can't he use that for the education if he wanted to?
What's my philosophy? Because who knows what the future of education will look like in that.
Well, that's my wife's philosophy. She said, because who knows what the future education is going to look like, right? Who knows? Like Trip might be an entrepreneur like his parents, right? He might be like, man, I don't want to go to college, Pops. Just go ahead and take this money and give me the money and invest. Again, read the book. What would the Rockefellers do? Because guess what they do? They put the money in this trust. They put this in the system where it's placed in, and you borrow from it to start your business, whatever it is, and you're supposed to pay it back. But if you don't pay it back, there is a death benefit on you for whole life or for a life policy. Well, if you die, the money goes back to the trust. That's, again, a rudimentary idea of the process of how they establish their generational wealth. You want to say, baby?
Yeah.
Well, who knows if college will even be a thing by the time Trip's going.
Oh, also, my wife just said, who knows if college is even going to be a thing by the time my son is going to college.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah.
Yeah. And the returns for the 529 plan are usually not great because they invest it into the state. So you're kind of like, well, I guess you have minor. It's more of how much you put into it. And that's, I don't know. I feel like that, especially now, you can put the funds maybe to better use.
Yep.
I agree. Mark, great question, man. I see that you got to ask your insurance agent, right? Whoever you went with, right, to see if it's convertible. They will tell you if it's convertible when you get it, your first policy. It's usually even in your paperwork you have, like term conversion to whole life policy potential, right? And then you got to figure out how much it costs to do it, to convert a portion of it to whole life.
And then Casey says, I agree with your wife.
I agree with her too. She's always
There you go.
smartest person in the room. I've said it since I've known her since high school. She's the smartest person in the room. And I'm not, if you're a believer, the Bible calls wisdom a woman for a reason.
All right. I like that.
Mark,
Yeah.
do you have anything to set up for your son?
I did have a 529, but now everything is just in real estate. Yeah, that's kind of my focus. And that can be another topic next week or another week, is the whole diversification or focusing on one asset class, and different thoughts on that. But I definitely feel I'm not where I need to be from the real estate side, and that's kind of just where the focus is right now. Oh, but and the whole life policy, but that was kind of already in place before. But yeah, strictly real estate now.
Because I kind of like what Brandon Turner said, that when his child was born, he just bought a fourplex and said, okay, that will be paid off by the time they're 18. I'm not sure on how he set up the contract, but he said, hey, it'll be paid off by the time they're of age. And I think I like that strategy a little bit more than the 529 plan.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would say maybe a little bit different. I believe Brandon Turner, he did 15-year mortgages on his. That would be the only thing. I'd probably still put it on a 30-year and do that. So maybe it's not going to be paid off, but there'll be quite a bit of equity.
Yeah,
in it.
or do the 30-year, but then make the payments
Yeah.
as if you want to pay it off in the 15.
So my plan too is to. So my son's mom is from North Carolina, and my son loves going to North Carolina. So I have a feeling if he does go to college, it'll probably be somewhere in that area. So the plan would probably be to buy like a fourplex or something wherever he's going to go to school, or trying to kind of plan, get an idea where he's going to go ahead of time, and then buy something there, and then he can do a house hack, kind of learn how to be a landlord at the same time. But that would be kind of the vision I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. That was actually my question for Lumberjack. I was wondering if he was doing that for his kids. He was like, nope, they're going to struggle. So I was just like, oh, that makes life easier. So
yeah, that's another thing. I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence.
I'm with you.
There's a certain amount of struggle, I guess, right? I mean, it's we're working so hard to provide better for them. It's kind of, I think it's just another way for them to propel even further, right? If you kind of do give them a leg up in a sense. I mean, of course, you want to teach them how to, what it took to get there and the hard work. But at the same time, if you can give them a leg up, it just allows them to hopefully propel even further. So I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, there's no right or wrong too, I think.
I mean, I struggle enough in life. I don't want my son to ever know the struggle I knew. He's gonna learn responsibility and how to apply and be smarter than me. I don't want my son to know struggle. Me personally, I've been homeless. I have lost my mom at 13. I've done enough struggle in my life. I've had shoes talk to me because I can buy another pair of shoes. So, nah, Chip ain't gonna struggle, but Chip's gonna know he gonna have to work for it though. He gonna definitely work for it. He gonna get nothing for free. It's gonna work for it. He's gonna grind for it. He's gonna have to go after it like me. But nah.
Yeah.
I work too hard for him not to struggle.
Yeah. I like how Zuber talked about it too, because I think someone asked him that kind of similar question, but it's even just relating, the opportunities that he has, showing his your kid, oh, like this real estate is paying for this trip we're on, right? Like this house or this property generates this much income, and our trip costs this much. So this trip is being paid by this particular asset that I have to manage or own. And it's just making their child relate, like how this, activity is being paid for in a sense. So I like that.
Yeah.
That's a dope concept. I like that too.
So Jen, yes, I think it's a great idea to target to buy a house for each kid. Would you tell the kid you have all these things set up for them, or see how they turn out first? Make them work at Chipotle.
I'm gonna see how they turn out first. I'm making work at Chipotle, man, because you know what? I don't want to know we have money, man. Like literally, like I don't want to know. I want to think I'm broke. I'm gonna be the dad going upstairs getting the money for prom for pennies. No, I ain't gonna do that. I don't know I'm broke. I want to know that dad, the mom, or we live comfortably, but I don't want them to think we're rich or have like millions of dollars of assets or whatever it may be where we're at when they're old enough to recognize what we have, right? But they're definitely going to work for it, and they're going to see how it's. And I don't want them to know they have a house for them, like not at all, because then like it's expectations. Like, what if my child, excuse my language, is a fuck up?
Yep.
I hope they're not a fuck up, but they are. I don't want them to know they have it because we're like, hey, someone to renege on it.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yep. Very true. So Jen agrees also. Oh, thanks, Casey. I love this idea. But Jen says, yes, what Zuber said was a gold nugget. Yeah, you're able to go to Disneyland this year because of real estate, right? So showing them the relationship between the assets and even the work you have to put in, right? Like even showing them, hey, this thing broke and we have to pay this for this water heater now. So we may not be able to do these activities you want because we have this expense we have to pay for on our rental property. But I think that's a great way to hopefully get them that mindset of cash flow and income and expenses and things like that. Casey says, I love Chipotle, Jen. I will sign my kids now for their first job in 10 years.
I love Chipotle too. I used to work at Chipotle. I did. It's fire. I still eat it to this day.
Nice.
You were fired? What?
No, it was fire. It was fire. It wasn't fire.
Oh, okay.
No. It was not fire. It was not fire.
This guy was stealing the burritos or something.
Yeah, for sure. No, you get them half off when you work, actually.
Oh, nice.
It was a great part-time job. Half off, and if you work overtime, you get it for free. It's nice. Not sure if it's
I used to work at Blockbuster, which is no longer in existence.
Oh man, you dating yourself now, man. I was older to work at Blockbuster, but I never got the job. But you worked there.
Yeah, I worked there, man. And you got like, I forgot when I first started, you would get like, shoots, was it? It might have been like 14 free movies or rentals a week or something. You could,
No.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Wow. Leslie used to work at the movie theater. She used to bring
Oh.
up all her friends to the movie theater and stuff like that. She didn't date me back then, though, y'all. But, she did work there.
Because
like,
you're watching Batman. She's like, oh, this guy's watching Batman.
no, she likes Batman actually, but
Oh.
it wasn't that.
All right. Well, this was a good live, man. This was a fun one, man. We'll do this again. And I don't know if you guys want to chat anything about anything else and bring it up before we wrap it up. But yeah. Maybe like 5 more minutes then, I guess we'll go.
Cool beans.
Sure.
Yeah, 5 more minutes. I don't know. You guys can set up your NCAA challenge or
Hey man, hit me up, man. I'm ready, bro.
Harris or Trade Better Harrison. He's in Virginia, so he said if I come up to Pittsburgh, he'll come meet us.
Oh yeah, definitely come meet you guys.
What part of Virginia you at?
I'm Richmond. So-
Oh man, it's funny. Every year I go see my mother-in-law in Newport News.
No way.
In Williamsburg every year. I was stationed in Virginia. I was in
Nice.
I was in Yorktown, Virginia when I was in the Navy, and yeah, I love Virginia. In fact, I told my wife I love her in Virginia because Virginia is a state for lovers, by the way.
Yep. Yeah.
So Jen's husband Kenny worked at Burger King.
Nice.
He said they ran out of Whopper meat one time. That inventory guy should have been fired.
That's a fact, man. Whoppers are fire, man. You know what?
Mhm.
It's about that flame broiled meat.
But
Yeah.
that goes to show you, right? Like even though they have they can't take over McDonald's, right? I mean, it's just it's not
Because
always.
McDonald's put crack on their food, man. Bro, the French fries are still fire, but we know the French fries are bad. It doesn't decay. We still eat them.
Mhm.
Like, you can find a French fry from McDonald's from 5 years ago in your car right now, and it still look crispy and ready.
And
Yeah.
you know what? That's another thing, Harrison, is you're gonna probably eat more McDonald's than you ever thought, or you're gonna get more Happy Meals. And you say you're not going to, but it's
Yeah.
just like when you're rushing and that drive-thru's right there, and you're just like, okay, let's go grab something real fast.
Well,
I don't-
yeah, it's funny.
I don't agree, man.
Really?
My dad taught me this when I was growing up, man. We'd be like, Daddy, McDonald's. He'd be like, all right, close your eyes and start chewing. How does that McDonald's taste? So, no, it's not. That does not always happen that way. I have lived a life where I did not get McDonald's because I wanted it. I have lived a life where my parents looked at me in my face and said, "Well, I got burgers for home or something. We got fries at home. We got McDonald's at home." I'm telling you, you can still live the way you want to live and say no to a child.
True. That is true. But
You know,
did
can
you
still
see
say
the
no.
one that they keep the wrappers? So they keep the wrappers like at home, and they heat up a Costco set or whatever, and they put it in a McDonald's wrapper, right? And say, here we.
That is
right?
That is savage.
Oh,
There's,
man.
there's definitely a kid out there that knows their mom and dad lied to him. Like, you can tell the difference in the size of the meat from McDonald's, man. I'm just
Yeah.
being real here. Just saying.
All
Yeah.
right, so
Well, it's
so
funny.
Ca-
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. Casey says, "See you guys back at grinding mode. Hopefully, see y'all next year at Zuber's event. Yep.
Mhm.
Hopefully meet you there. Let's see. Mark Ham says my brother just got out of the Navy this month, and they are moving back to Oklahoma from Norfolk. Cool.
Someone said thank you
Nice.
for your service.
Thank you for your service. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And Mark, Sierra's actually in Oklahoma right now, so I don't know. I mean, Sierra's visiting her family in Oklahoma right now, homes and hustles. But late start. Well, McDonald's is a real waste company that also sells burgers.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, did y'all see
Yeah.
Super Size Me?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
You know, he
yeah.
passed
Yeah.
away last. I think it was 2 months ago. He passed away. The guy.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes.
right. That's right.
So
RIP.
I played that for my health class, right? So we watch it. It's a great time, and then he dies. Like when we're done watching the movie, it like comes out that he died, and all of the kids were like, "Mr. Garner, did you know he died?" I'm like, "Well, you see what McDonald's does to you."
I hate to laugh at that because he did stop eating McDonald's and got healthy again. It's just a tragic thing, but yeah, bro, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
size.
Did you see the second one? There's Super Size Me 2, which
Oh.
is crazy.
Why would we do two? We already don't have it on one.
Yeah.
It's a movie. You know, like it's certain movies you just be like, why do we make another one? We know what happened already, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this one was all about chicken sandwiches. I was like, oh no.
Chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chick-fil-A?
Not just Chick-fil-A, but like all like chicken sandwich makers and everything like that.
Not the Popeyes spicy chicken
I
sandwich.
know. I
Oh
love
yeah,
Popeye's chicken
we,
sandwich.
we
Oh,
that
man.
was one of our. We brought that up one of the lives. I forget who was on it, but they were the Popeyes chicken sandwich or the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. I think you. Oh, you know what? Because
Chick-fil-A.
Ned and Stan guys were on, and they're in New Orleans, and they're like, oh yeah, the Popeyes. And I agree. The Popeyes chicken sandwich is awesome.
Nah, man. Ain't nothing but that Chick-fil-A sauce, bro. That fried chicken, bro. I don't care.
Oh,
I get an array of spices. Seasoning and sauces I can put on my sandwich when I go there, bro. And the waffle fries,
Yes.
that's kiss, man. Come on,
You know,
bro.
the funny thing though is first time when I went to North Carolina is when I went to Chick-fil-A, and now that it's in Hawaii, I haven't even been there.
Because you're not a believer, that's all.
No, I like it, but it's just now it's here, right? So it's not. I don't ever go.
yeah.
My man said Popeyes is the best one. You ain't a believer.
I mean, I would go KFC. That was like they had like juicier
All
KFC.
KFC's?
Nah.
Yeah, KFC's.
Running
actually
late to the
pretty
game, bro. You got to realize, man, the first original chicken sandwich was created by Chick-fil-A.
good. Yeah.
By the way, and guess what the chicken is dipped in? It's dipped in peanut oil and fried to perfection. If you have a peanut allergy, I feel bad for you. But if you can eat Chick-fil-A, there's nothing closer to heaven than that.
Do they have that warning? Do they have that warning on there?
I don't know, but I'm just talking trash. Man. Don't listen to me, man. I'm just proud of it,
Man.
man.
But late start wealth just want to make a. He said he meant real estate, not real
Real
waste.
estate. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Damn autocorrect. But yeah,
Sure.
thanks for staying by. Staying with
He's
us,
right.
John.
McDonald's has the largest real estate portfolio in the country. Hence the reason why you see more vacant McDonald's to this day because they own the land. And guess who started that first? Ray Kroc. If you haven't seen it, watch The Founder with my man Michael Keaton, who also played who? Batman.
That's a good movie.
Well, before we wrap things up, if anyone out there needs a banking or landlording software, I would check out Baselane. I love it for banking, landlord software. It's super, super easy to use. You can make all virtual accounts. You can get interest rate on your savings in there. You can keep the security deposits all separate, everything. So, yeah, I love it. But yeah, this was fun, man. This was a long one. We got actually our viewership was really high on this one.
That's dope.
Yeah. So maybe because we were talking about video games and comics and stuff, but yeah, so we will do it again. But thanks everyone for stopping by, and go check out everyone's channels. Go subscribe, and we'll do this next week.
And Deadpool and Wolverine comes out Friday.
That's right. Marvel. See?
Awesome.
Marvel.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Have a